You have probably already tried playing with summons in this game, right? And if not, well, I urge you to try it because summons can be extremely strong. Matter of fact, they are indeed one of the stronger mechanics in the game as of currently, especially if we're talking about the newly added in
Frenzied bunnies.
Today, we're going to talk a little bit about summons in Soulstone Survivors, and I will try to provide you with everything you need to know about them and try to answer some commonly asked questions about them from the community as well. Let's get it. Well, summons in Soulstone Survivors can take a variety of different forms, shapes, sizes, and uses. We always try to provide the players with different kind of summons units for you guys to be able to tailor them to however you want to play, and we got quite a few of them. So let's take a look on what we got going on currently. Before we get into the summons though, I'd like to clarify that yes, the summons as of recent changes now also inherit the player's modifiers that are picked up during a match, besides everything else that they already had. So you can imagine how powerful they got since this change happened. Another cool little change that changed some of how summons work, which was actually based on community given feedback, is that the summons now heal whenever they are casted again. So stuff like cooldown reduction to the skills and multicast are actually really useful. If you played the game in recent past, you know that this wasn't like this. The summons you should respawn at the play's location instead of heal, which could be really troublesome and problematic at times. Whenever you try out any summon build, I do also encourage you to play around with other active skills that have interesting interactions with them, like for example the skill Putrefy, which makes it so that every ally of yours to have the power of the plague rats, meaning that they periodically release a rot explosion and when target dies, they spread that rot. Or picking up the Bishop Raft skill for example, which empowers allies with multicast and extra movement speed. If you are newer to the game and wish to get some recommendation on what runes and characters to pick for summons as a starter goal, a great choice is the Necromancer, which has great stats for summons and already has summons as starting skills, and the main rune I recommend is the Commanding Presence rune, which will boost your unit's damage by a lot, while reducing the damage you deal, which we don't care so much about that. We also have a video about runes if you are in doubt about what they do and how to use them to build consistent builds, so please do check that out. So, for the summons that we currently have access to, we got the more nature-attuned summons, which are the Battle Moose, which in my personal opinion is the coolest one of the bunch. It applies stun and AoE damage, which can save your life in unexpected circumstances. Imagine having a bunch of these bad boys roaming around. One cool thing to note here about the summons as well is that the unit limits that we got from the skills description is actually per skill and not total. So if you pick multiple summon moose skills for example, that will actually mean that we have a limit of 8 per summon moose skill, which is great. And you can also pick up the increased quantity card, which increases the limit of units you can summon even further, so you can have a lot of summons at the same time going on, which is it's pretty powerful. Besides the moose, we also got the Cave Bear, which interestingly empowers nearby allies' maximum HP by 15 and damage by 10%. It's a really cool and useful summon to pair with other skills that get their damage from HP scaling, for example. We also got the Plague Rats, which are notorious for kind of, breaking the game if you go too ham on the amount that are constantly dying and respawning. They spread rot around, which is a really powerful DOT, and you can have access to them by playing the Necromancer with the Noxious Reaper weapon. Still on the nature topic, we got the Putrid Hounds, which apply weakness to the target, which increases damage taken, so also an interesting option. The Tiger, which applies wound and bleed, which can synergize well with other skills that do the same, and the last Nature Boys. Oh yeah, the boars. We already have a video out for the boars, so if you're interested in playing an all boars build, which is also really powerful and fun, please check that out. We'll leave a link to it in the description of the video. We also got what I like to call the board gamer summons. Totems, which are the Chaos Totem, the Ballista, which is kind of like a totem, works in a similar fashion, the Cobra Totem, which is a poison spitting totem, the Shockwave Totem, which is a physical, like bleed kind of totem, and the Volcano Eruption, which is a more elemental kind of totem, right? And for those who like to command the dead and roleplay as the Night's King, Lord of the White Walkers from Game of Thrones, we got the Undead, which come in a melee ranged form, a mage, and a physical bow and arrow form. And let's not forget the super awesome and special winter event elves, which can be really handy if you're trying to speedrun the game and go fast. Aside these undead summons, I guess we can also add in the summon infantry, since these bad boys are also, actually the spirits of dead Spartans that came back to fight for you. They are not exactly popular, but they apply dazed, which is a really powerful and useful debuff to have on enemies, so do not discard them out when you're about to try a summon build. And for the last of them, which are purposely left behind, we got the Frenzied bunnies. Oh, the Frenzied bunnies. These cute little demonic looking things are absolutely crazy. If you pick all the right choices to buff them up properly, they can go absolutely ham. To definitely check them out if you're enjoying yourself some demonic bunnies. Stuff of nightmares right there, for sure. Some of the craziest combinations I have seen of these summons are paired with the singular focus rune, which we also explained about in our previous video, which really turns summons into killing nearly unstoppable machines. So give it a little thought and try them out. They are guaranteed fun. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck and have fun, survivors. To the next one.